It is time to talk about the Police Explorers. They're like Cub Scouts, but with balls. Hey guys, what's going on? I hope everybody's having a great week so far. You guys have been requesting this video for so long, and I apologize. I'm actually having to film in my son's room right now because we are like out of space. The living room looks nice right now. I don't want to mess it up, so I just decided to like bring all my shit in here and try to do this video. So you guys have been asking me for a really long time to do this video on the Explorers. Even though I have some experience with it, if you guys have any more questions after the video, you can ask them in the comment section and I'll try to answer your questions. I'm sure there's probably a lot of you that have no idea what the Explorers are. Maybe you guys don't have it in your area. I think more places don't have an Explorer program than places that do. So basically the Police Explorer program is a program that was put into place to help guide kids that want to become cops into the law enforcement field. Basically, the Police Explorers are to law enforcement what ROTC is to the military. You get issued uniforms, you march, you go to class, all that fun stuff. And I don't know what every Police Explorer post is like, so what I'm telling you is just based on my personal experiences. God, it is hot as hell in here. So basically the way our program ran is that we had two main instructors, and then we had like a senior instructor that kind of oversaw the whole program. Being an instructor by itself took a lot of time, but being a senior instructor, dude, that's a whole separate job on its own. The only requirement for the instructors is that they had to be a post-certified law enforcement officer. And these are all people that like volunteered their time. Like none of us got paid a dime to be a part of this program. And every instructor kind of has their forte of what they wanted to do. My personal thing was drill and ceremony. So that's kind of where I came in. You had some guys that wanted to teach like traffic stops. You had some guys that wanted to teach like firearm safety and stuff like that. My personal thing was the drill and ceremony. That's what I enjoyed. I enjoyed getting everybody together and having everybody march in sync and trying to coordinate that, trying to get everybody on the same page and to take the same steps at the same timing. Like it's a lot of work. You know, I'm not trying to be a hater, but like kids are pretty clumsy, right? So you can't expect a kid to be perfect on the first couple of tries. So you kind of have to work with them and coach them and get them, you got to get their rhythm down. You know, you got to teach them that rhythm of marching and counting and cadence. But that was my passion. That was my absolute passion, man, was teaching drill. And when you can get, 30 kids outside in 4 separate rows and everybody's finally on the same beat, like that's your reward, especially whenever they actually go to a drill competition and they end up winning it. That's a good feeling, especially when you know that you're the one that was responsible for teaching them how to do that. And I have to say, like, I was only part of this program for maybe a year before they ended up shutting down the program for funding reasons. But it was really one of the most rewarding things that I've done in police work. I don't really know how to describe it. Like just knowing that these kids wanted to be cops so bad, they look up to you and you feel this huge sense of like responsibility, I guess. And unfortunately, when I was younger, when I was in high school and stuff, they didn't have a Police Explorer program. Otherwise, shit, I would have dived right into it. So the Police Explorer program has a lot of different like sections to it or things that they do. Some programs are just tests and class time and learning laws and stuff like that, and others are actually hands-on where they do the traffic stops, taking apart a Glock. You have to be really careful about certain things. Now granted, these kids aren't going out and making arrests, but still, you're giving a firearm to an 11-year-old, and whether it has bullets or not in it, you're supposed to treat it like it does. But more of the hands-on stuff would be like practicing traffic stops. They don't have to drive the cars. We park the cars, they hop in, and then they get out, and we have them kind of go through this routine, I guess. I hate calling traffic stops routine, but we kind of have them go through this certain process that we do so they understand the concept of a traffic stop and why we do certain things that we do. We'll also set up a mock crime scene. So we might set up a crime scene with 1 or 2 little minute details that most of them are probably not going to pick up on, just to see who's really paying attention to detail. We might stage, let's say, a stabbing, and we put the knife on the table. One of us will take some red ink and like just put one single fingerprint on like underneath the table just to see how thoroughly they check their scene, because most people are just looking from the top down. We want them to kind of check everywhere and be a little bit more thorough, just like you would be on a real crime scene. Some Explorer programs actually take their cadets out to the range. That to me that's too much liability, man. And I think the really good thing about the Explorer program is that it really gives these kids an opportunity to see if this is something they really want to do. Are you sure this is the line of work that you want to go into? Because it's not all glamorous and fun and all that. Like, there's a lot of class time, there's a lot of paperwork. You know, a lot of Explorer posts will have their cadets sit down and write a full page report. Just to kind of get them used to the terminology and the way we talk. And on August 1st, I responded to such and such in reference to a burglary upon my arrival. Stuff like that. Trust me, this job is not for everyone. And we would rather figure that out early on than somebody get into it and then 6 months down the road, they're like, yeah, screw this. Another good thing that I think has been implemented into a lot of the Explorer posts, it's more of an incentive, is establishing a rank structure that's very similar to what most police departments have. So based on their time in, their merit, like maybe certain awards they've gotten, certain things will allow them to progress in the ranking system. So it kind of gives them a good feeling. It gives them something to work toward. And that's really what we as the instructors wanted to see, was these cadets that took on a leadership role. We want to see you trying to help other people and stuff. Those are the kinds of qualities that we want in an actual officer, is leadership and the urge to help whoever you can. And there was one thing that really sucked, man. It was this Explorer post that, you know, we ran. We had an absolute all-star cadet. This guy, anything you asked him to do, he was going to do, and then he would ask you for 10 more assignments. This kid was a shining star in this program, and he very quickly became the major over the program. So he basically coordinated everything. We almost just kind of let him do whatever he wanted to do. He was extremely intelligent. He was very much on the ball. This kid was fantastic. And unfortunately, I can't remember if it was before or after he graduated from high school. He was actually killed in a head-on collision. And that really sucks, because he would have been an awesome officer. And after doing it for some time, you really start to realize the impact that you have on these kids. A lot of these kids come from broken homes. So this is the only program, the only thing they look forward to in their day. They hate going home because either their parents are abusive, or they're always fighting, or they're never home, whatever the circumstances are. This time was for these kids to come and just be themselves. So anyway, guys, that is it for this video today. I appreciate you watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Hopefully next time I will have a better setting than my son's bedroom. So I appreciate you guys being so supportive. But like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. I will get to them accordingly. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your support, and I will see you guys very, very soon.